throughout the group stage, we just felt learn from our mistakes and just continue to improve. Well, obviously we feel really good making the major, but we all individually know we have a lot of work to do. The major is, you know, there's not going to be any room for mistakes or anything like that. Everybody has to play their absolute best, so we're going to go home and make sure we put the work in so that we can be the best team we can be. Hopefully, if we keep on improving and show that teams from NA can really compete at the top level, and I think we're starting to show that. Every time we play a top team, we're starting to improve against them and really show that it doesn't matter where you come from. It's just, if you have a really good team and you just put in the work, it'll pay off. I think what makes us really strong is just our team chemistry, and we understand each other. We understand each other's play style, so that really helps. You know, when a player is not performing so well, another player has the opportunity to step up. Everybody at one point can dominate a match on their own, which is really unique about us. We have 5 players that, in my opinion, can be star players.
OpTic versus Flipside, as we are really getting excited about this one. The epic music is playing. It's the North Americans versus Flipside. Neither team managed to make too much of an impact in their first games. Duncan's actually got some serious moves right now. He's alongside Yanko and Moses. He's replaced it. We swapped one. We went red, white, and blue. We had blue before. Now we've got the white of your shining bold head. It's good to see you here. What I want to start by asking you is. Neither team has made an impact earlier on, right? We've seen, you know, Flipside tried 7 rounds, OpTic 4 rounds. Is this a battle of kind of the lesser of two evils, or is there really a clear favorite in this matchup, Jason?
I don't necessarily think there's a clear favorite. I think actually the worrying part for OpTic has got to be when they lost, and both these teams played vastly superior opponents in the first round, but the worrying part for OpTic, especially going into this, is because Flipside is so tactical, because they have Blade and they do that structured setup. I mean, NIP pulled them apart. They looked lost on that map. It wasn't even always about getting outskilled by the NIP players. It was they just looked confused as if they didn't even know how to react to what was occurring on the map. And Flipside can do that very same thing. They don't have the skill, but they can still outmaneuver you and outplay you.
Yeah, but we kind of got hung up on that Vita in OpTic game, right, Duncan? We was kind of like, they kind of lost before a bullet was fired. Can that same, is it likely that same statement can be said in this matchup, or is it a little bit different in the Vita?
No, because the key thing here is Flipside, even though they have the tactical leader,
sure,
that's the thing. Blade isn't going to put his men onto a map that they're not comfortable. He wants to play out the maps and the tactics that they've prepared. And so actually, it's much, much more likely in this matchup that we will head towards those 2 shared maps that you're going to see from these teams, which is you're going to see the cobblestone, you're going to see the train. It's very likely going to be one of these maps. They're definitely going to be in the randomizer at least. And so, I mean, maybe Mirage also in the mix there. Yeah. These are the sorts of maps where actually I think Blade is going to want to play them on that map, not least because he isn't thinking we're an underdog in this match. He's thinking if we get onto these maps, I know my tactics, I've watched their demos, that's actually what both teams want.
Does that make sense to you, Yanko? Just one of the two? We still haven't seen a Mirage in this tournament yet.
I don't think we're going to see it now either. Yeah. I feel that, I agree with Duncan, I feel that something like a train would be a great matchup between these two teams, and you could see Flipside vetoing Dust too, so maybe OpTic feeling a bit relieved with that one.
Doing the work for them, wouldn't you say, Duncan? I mean, they probably weren't going to be heading towards Dust 2 anyway.
And we've got the Mirage ban, but actually Flipside's chosen the Cobble ban. So obviously we're thinking Train's still in the mix. I doubt OpTic themselves are going to ban Train, so I'd assume that's going to be going into the randomizer. Cash is obviously something you can ban, not necessarily known as a strong Flipside map. Let me think, what else have we got?
Nuke is there as well.
Yeah, we've got Nuke still. That's the question, is OpTic scared enough of Nuke that they just ban that out? Because that's also another option.
We saw Flipside play it, actually, didn't they? They played it at E-League, I believe.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it's safe to assume
wrecked on that.
Everyone's touched Nuke at some point. You know, they've given it a once over, surely. Before
it seems to be this weird map
for your life, though, in the tournament. That's the problem. Yeah. Unless you really think you got somewhat prepped on it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it is a map where you might want to say if there's a severe underdog, you take Nuke just to gamble it and say, since no teams really are clear-cut on it, just take that as the gamble. But yeah, so OpTic just...
The ideal here is that we get Train, because we know both teams are good on Train. We know if they've played Train. We've actually already seen Flipside play Train in this tournament. And I think that would just be where you could really get to see these in-game leaders and these star players. They'd be comfortable, both sets of them.
We actually haven't seen Cash yet, so this could be the first Cash as well.
It's Train. Well done.
Good talk. Good talk.
Yeah, I tried. It is going to be Train. Another Train. I mean, it seems like Flipside have done a fantastic job both in the qualifiers and in towards the opening stages of the major playing Train. It seems to be a map they're very comfortable on, despite conceding a heavy loss to Navi earlier on.
They played it well against Navi at E-League, and that's the thing. We've seen them so confident play it. Navi being one of the best teams in the world on it. They played them 3 times in the past 2 weeks on that map. So obviously feeling very comfortable. This is still one though that OpTic. I mean, despite the fact that they're not going to have as tactical an approach, they're very comfortable on it. That's kind of the cool thing for it.
And also considering Flipside played it as many times in such a short period, it gives a lot of
plenty more info to research.
Info to research for OpTic as well. So I do feel that this map is really 50-50. I don't think any team is favored here, but you know, it's definitely going to be interesting to see. And whoever does win this matchup still has to go against NIP in a best of 3. So a really tough task.
Of course, they'll just be thinking about this one map first of all. It's time for predictions then, folks. It does seem like, he's already said it, 50-50. It's not an easy one to make, so Duncan, we'll start with you. Which one are you going for?
I mean, obviously, this isn't map dependent. This is one of the best maps for both teams. So I look at this map and I actually say I think OpTic is the one that's going to win this. I think this is one of their best maps. I think it's actually one of the few where I can see them measuring up against the European teams. Meanwhile, for Flipside, they can sometimes have a really good performance on it, but I feel like they always break down on that CT side. Like actually, World Edit always underwhelms me in general. As a result, when he has that crazy performance, I'm just like, where is that normally? So I think OpTic takes this.
Okay, so believing in the North Americans, it's true that it's kind of crazy that OpTic just turned up and suddenly one of the best
wasn't secretly paid those dirty esports dollars again.
Yeah, they slid into your DMs.
It was all a joke, guys. It was all a joke.
Yanko, what have you got for me?
I feel it's going to be a battle between Mixwell and World Edit, and I feel that Mixwell is going to take it, so I'm going with OpTic.
2 for OpTic. Now, this is interesting. Jason, do we have a full North American prediction desk, or is there belief in Flipside?
We do have a full North American desk. I'm going to take OpTic as well. The scary thing is for Flipside, yeah, they're good on this map, and we've seen them have some good games, but I just watched a game where Blade was their top fragger by like 15 kills over World Edit, over, you know, all the other players on this team. If Blade's going to be the one top fragger, if that's even a possibility, that just frightens me.
So much doubt in Flipside, despite, you know, we've seen fantastic performances from individuals. You've got names like Waylander in there, and yet we do still all lean towards OpTic. I believe the casters are almost ready, as is this game, gents, but 3 members of the analyst desk believe OpTic are going to be taking this. We can even make it 4. We're going to be seeing a North American team try and get closer to a best of 3. Of course, it is going to be a truly testing time still to get to the playoffs. But first, a best of 1. It's on train, and it's between OpTic Gaming and Flipside. The 2 handsome faces you're going to be seeing next is Sadakist and Henry G. Enjoy this one.
Thank you so much, Alex. Yes, best of 1s again. We've had 2 teams move through to legendary status, including Gambit, as well as Na'Vi, so 2 CIS teams. Yep. We get another team sent home to join CLG in this game.
Very difficult to predict this one. Flipside, obviously the tactical masterminds here, but OpTic got a lot of talent. They have taken some big scalps before. Most notably, we remember Astralis at Pro League. They were taking down some big names. They had a really good, nice, deep run into that tournament. And you never really know what's going to turn up. Yesterday against NIP, they were weak. They looked poor. Their fundamentals weren't there. Their basic approach to Dust 2 was pretty off. Weren't really rotating efficiently. But Drain, I'm not really sure how this one's going to get out. I'm going to put it in favor of Flipside. I feel like they're the stronger unit and they have better teamwork. So let's see how this goes down. There's going to be OpTic side on the T side. They're going to have 3 sets of armor. Tactical approach here as well. 2 smokes in the hands of Daps and Naf. Most teams will opt to go towards inside, but you can see the bombs actually hiding towards the dumpster area, towards Ivy. So this is unorthodox, Matt. I haven't seen this before, so I'm interested to see how this pans out. But the looks of things, potential split towards the A side. You go towards connector, see what happens.
Interesting thing about it, though, is that likely you expect them to head toward the A site at some point, but they haven't moved Markelov or World Edit from Ivy. So if their plan is to have easy passage based on the 3 players lurking, that's not going to happen, because World Edit's still here to wait. Blade takes down Stanislaw, Naf falls as well. Stan did find one in the middle of that, but again, still, this is such a huge position for Flipside to have. The fake not going to work. Lets Mixwell go immediately by, and World Edit assassinates him from behind, and now Rush has to try and get the bomb back, find this kill. Does manage to do so, but traded again. Markelov still there, so whatever plan they had on this pistol didn't really work out for them, and it's now Daps left in a 1 versus 3, and chances of even getting a bomb plant out of this, unlikely.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these tactics whatsoever. I think your objectives should be get the bomb down, then go from there. But Daps is making a good case here. Does take down Markelov. Still a lot of work to do. The bomb is down towards Ivy. Gets himself in towards Connector. Let's see if Blade and Shara can hold him off. They are sticking together here, trying to make it 1 situation instead of 2.
Well, he's low HP, is Blade. So a chance for Daps to get this kill, but facing out, committing to it. He spots the second player and both shooting down at the same time. Not much he can do. Shara will close it. And Flipside again, not budging, not moving, and OpTic just walked right into it.
Yeah, they read that so well. Like, obviously, when you have those 3 players go to inside, in CSGO, on the radar, you can see when the bomb is spotted. If you spot a player and you have your crossover in for 2 seconds, you can see whether they have the bomb. The bomb wasn't spotted at all. They're going towards connector. They're trying that A split out. That's so high risk, in my opinion. Unless you find those initial kills, which are difficult to get at that range against the USPs, it's not really going to work out for you. I prefer just to focus on one area, get the bomb planted, and even if you don't win the round, you have that money going into the 3rd. You have the AKs. That's an advantage with the terrorists. So no bomb going down does mean OpTic Gaming do force up on the 2nd tier. They're going to have 3 Tech 9s, 2 P250s, couple of smokes. So that suggests to me smoke down lower ramp, smoke towards connector. Try and get the bomb down this time. Stick as a unit. Let's not try to be too clever here.
So Shara and World Edit cover off this B site, which will come under threat from OpTic. Electing to throw out the smoke is Rush toward the connector. Second one down on top of the sidewalk, and a fast execution. Is easy to get, well, I shouldn't say easy, but likely to get a bomb plant with a fast B push just due to the positioning. So if they can get that bomb down, which it looks like they will, they'll pull some money into the next round. But Waylander, he's going to spray down both. Stanislaw, Naf follows into the grave. They'll join each other in the casket. As it's just Rush and Daps to try and hold off what they can. They will push. There's a chance they can. They've got forward positions to slow down these rotations, and Daps, a good shot to find Blade, but Waylander holds true. 3 kills for him in the round, and they will go forward and get the defuse.
See what I mean, though? When you send, excuse me, 5 players towards the inside site, you're almost guaranteed to plant there. CT's are only ever going to have 2 players at tops. It's going to be equal exchanges initially. You're waiting for rotations at that point. It's very likely the bomb gets planted. That's what I'd like to have seen on the pistol. So to do recover here, they get a plant down. There'll be eco going into this round, but that means they get a nice healthy buy going into the 4th. So this will be, you'd expect us to be maybe P250s, a couple of smokes once again, try and get a plant. They could probably get 2 or 3 smokes and try and do the wall of smokes outside, and that's quite a viable option. Try and plant inside that smoke. Looks like it'd be more of a conservative play though. Just 1 smoke purchase, a couple of Desert Eagles there on Mixwell and Stanislaw. At this point, it's just Flipside trying to keep 5 players alive. You can see World Edit. Obviously, the all-pro of the team, he wants to get a P250 this round. That's all he's going to have, which is fine. And other players can choose some players up. We'll see how this works out for him as we go into round number 3.
Mixwell, Deagle trying to spot toward Hitch. But to catch someone off looking for information on the flip side of the map. As Blade gets on top of the train, back toward Ivy. He's got Markelov watching his back, and Waylander on top of the bomb train itself to set a crossfire if they do approach quad quickly. Trying to keep the range as their advantage in all of this. They don't want to get too close, potentially drop a weapon that's grabbable to OpTic, and more importantly, give those pistols a chance. Really, the only threat from that range is the Deagles. Daps gets a little closer inside B, but Shara, good positioning above on top of the train, able to take him down, and now they will push quad. Blades drop down into this position though on the floor, which does leave him slightly more exposed, but he times it well, and Waylander gets Nafly. He's able to walk up and catch Rush off as he's focused in just on the man who took his teammate down. And now Stanislaw firmly trapped inside of the pop dog position. Spots 1 going in toward A. They don't have the full information that he's there just yet, but now it's been revealed, 1 versus 5, and it could very well end that way.
Yeah. It's looking that way, Matthew. The problem is for OpTic going forward is Flipside actually very strong in this map. We saw it at E-League, especially. I think it was World Edit who set the highest record for frags achieved in the first half, and he did on the terrorist side as well. So that's actually kind of scary. They've got this great start on the CT side here. It's 3-0. I don't think there's all potential right now for OpTic Gaming. You can see they've got 5 AKs, not the greatest amount of cash going forward. So they have got the smokes, Molotovs, so definite execution possibility there. I'd assume this round is when they'll take things a little bit slower. See if there is going to be some sort of advantageous push from Flipside, trying to take advantage of the fact they have Famises, try to get the first pick, but World Edit back on the AWP, of course. Quite a turbulent player, can be amazing sometimes, can be quite quiet in others, but we'll see what kind of performance he'll be posting today.
World Edit. Smoke out toward A main. It's Rush that's going to take the fast approach onto B. Flash comes through for him to try and peek the stairwell, but at the same time, a smoke comes out, followed up by a flash of Flipside's own. So delays it slightly. Daps is still going to try and take over this upper hallway position. Just needs to check the corner, make sure they're pushed back. As soon as that's covered off, set for a default. Try and find a pick.
Yeah, classic default. If we just bring up the minimap quickly. Yeah, you can see them spread out in a nice formation across the map, looking for any sort of pushes from the CTs right now. Not going to get anything for now. They're not actually challenging for the faces. They just want to make sure there's no aggression coming from the CTs. There it is, holding up. Mixwell takes advantage, takes down Waylander. So that's worked out perfectly for them so far.
Indeed, as Waylander gets impatient. Blade knows Mixwell's off to left side of A main. Left side for his approach, at least. And they're trying to Molotov him out. Nafly's going to come in to support him. Does get Markelov down smartly so because Blade gets aggressive, but that's traded out. So Naf gets 2 very good kills. And in toward the site, he now works, climbing up on top of the train, but Shara could spoil. Good spot, good shoulder peek by Naf again to spot him. Coming up, trying to threaten them, and it's just World Edit. OpTic Gaming poised to take their first round of this game. First gun round, which does still hold well for Flipside. However, they don't have the best cash built up, so they'll force, obviously, and comfortably for Shara, Waylander as well, but they'll get guns out regardless into the next round. It's actually kind of important here that World Edit saves this AWP. He's only got $300 saved up from the previous rounds.
Yeah, for sure. He needs to save his AWP, and it's a pretty safe position right now. It's not like OpTic have tons of cash available to them. They can't hunt too hard here. They know he's got the AWP. He could be anywhere holding a tight angle and just mowing them down, so it's pretty unlikely to actually get a kill here. So you can see them kind of working through CD spawn right now. I think that is actually Rush, if I'm not mistaken. It's Daps, in fact. So he'll be in CD spawn. He could actually challenge towards the upper round, but it's very likely he'll die here. But let's see whether he can get anything out of it. There it is. Goes down. At this point, it's already died. Okay, guys, just save the rest of their AKs here. We know he's saving the AWP. That's good information to take for the next round at least. But there it is. It's just OpTic full default. Didn't have to work for those kills at all, Matt. You saw how they got pushed in towards the main entrance. CT's got a little bit restless. Didn't want to be going into the round without any information. Wanted to push in and see what they could find, and does not work out for them at all. So OpTic just gifted that first gun round here, but reinvesting into it. They would be reset if they were to lose this round. Now it's a double AWP setup for Flipside. It's going to be Markelov. Obviously, a legendary 1.6 AWPer. Has been kind of flirting with the idea of doing it in CSGO as well. Posted some really interesting games recently, so we'll see whether he can live up to that name and make this double AWP setup work for Flipside.
Well, did it fast Molotov in toward A main so that they can't go for a quick peek on the OpTic side. He eventually, or immediately rather, turns back and takes the AWP over to B. And a play off of Shara's position close to the bomb. Close to the default position to try and deny that. Good shot again from Mixwell. Same thing all over again. Waylander just pushes in. Blade's going to follow it up, drops immediately, and it's 2 quick kills for him. They've got to stop doing that and stop early because now it's a big deficit to try and pull back in this round. And OpTic getting 2 in a row would reset the cash on Flipside.
Yeah, very questionable pushes there. Was no real rhyme or reason behind them. Just pushing in, hoping to get that first fast frag. And the problem is, once they lost the first one, I think they should have surrendered at that point. If they'd fallen back with 5 and 4, but they tried to get the frag back in their favor, and it wasn't a refrag. It was just running in 2 or 3 seconds afterwards. Mixwell gets 2 easy kills to open things up. Smoked out for now. At this point, to bleed out the CTs, what that remaining utility they have remaining. Only good news is they have a double AWP setup still. So obviously, those weapons can do a lot of damage. And OpTic will be heading towards inside now. Still have smokes for the lower ramp, but that's going to be pretty safe to get down there. Molotov's coming in as well.
Daps push through the smoke on sidewalk. Second one to cover off connector, so he's got safety blankets at least to play between. As bomb goes down, though, already they're just setting the perimeter. Flipside not even really committing to try and get this retake or defuse. Shar's going to take down Mixwell, but has to relocate immediately so he's not found and not hunted as Naf does get closer to the top of Pop Dog.
So once again, OpTic don't really have to do anything to win these rounds, Matt. Hold up in a default, and the kills will fall into your crosshair, apparently. Flipside is trying to get things done a little bit too quickly there, and with the money in the situation it was, and the fact they had the double AWP set up, it was a bit of a risky call for me. I don't think you need to make those kind of plays, especially when you have to lead like this as well. Allow OpTic to make the move, so that you're giving these skilled players, we know they've got talent there available, just having easy kills, just mopping up by themselves, not even a crossfire required. Second round for OpTic has been achieved, but 3 players do survive for Flipside. 2 AWPs obviously means they can kind of balance the books a little bit. I don't think they can drop too much. World Edit could drop a Famous. That's an option, which he will do. And I think 1 player may be limited to a max 7, maybe Blade. What's been dropped?
Not 100% sure what is on the ground for him. It looks like another FAMAS. So there is another FAMAS out toward the stairwell he'll grab on the way by.
So it's still not the worst by at all. Double AWP setup seems they need to start letting those AWPs actually have some opportunities to work in. They're forcing the issue a little bit too much. Slow things down. We'll see what OpTic decide to do this round. There are a couple of set smokes coming in. I think it's an outside fake here because they are going for inside control with the smokes towards the outer bomb site.
One play in all of this is Shara this time. He's gotten far more aggressive on that upper corner. Sits on top of the ladder right now looking for a chance to fast peek. If they wrap around the corner, this is a change of play, and it's Daps that's been trying to push them back from this position so far this game. Does so with a quick nade. That's responded, though, as World Edit throws his own in the same position in case they were trying to quickly wrap in behind it, but so far Shara hasn't needed to move, and he may not, because the only movement he makes might be a rotation onto A as the default slowly leads off in that direction again. Nafly watching out toward Ivy for a push through. Stanislaw and Mixwell back toward A main. They'll go back for the bomb now. And Waylander this time, thankfully, didn't push into that trap in A main.
Looks like the outside execution coming in. 45 seconds remaining. They still have 4 smokes available. This could be the wall of smoke executing towards outside, but there is a player faking. That's going to be Daps. He's trying to take the attention and stop the rotation from the CTs going towards outer.
But Shara pushed up so far. What's the call going to be for the rotation to World Edit? He's going to go early. Daps isn't going to find anyone. Instead, it's going to be Blade and Waylander who find a kill. 2, in fact, for Blade, but Mixwell, again, pulls it back as both those players get caught aggressively inside a quad. Mixwell has been the absolute problem so far for Flipside. Good response from World Edit, waiting for Daps. It does leave it to a 1-on-3, and the Spaniard, who's moved over to NA to join this organization, is going to have to get the ace if he wants the round, and that's not going to happen. It goes to 4 for Flipside, 2 only for OpTic.
Yeah, we saw that outside execution coming in. They had one player sending down the low ramp. Like I said, he's trying to block the rotation of the CT. He's trying to keep 2 players out. Even if he doesn't find a kill, the idea is he slows them down. And to be fair, that got a bit risky there. Blade gets the first 2 kills. That's brilliant. But he's getting a little bit over aggressive, I guess. He's just pushing in after gets his frag with the USP, trying to end it as quickly as possible. Every kill is very important at this stage. You can see the CT cache has not been brought to a level where it's safe going forward. They still, if they lose 1 round, that's it. So 4-2. And there is money available for OpTic. They know just 1 round in favor for Flipside. They can actually fully reset them here. Once again, smokes go towards outside. And 1 player in the form of Rush, he's holding towards PopDog. So this could be the full outside play once again. See if they commit.
Mixwell inside already. Tech9 this time for him. Limited significantly, but the smoke's out toward Hitch now on the site itself. And the Molotovs, look at the execution so quick. Bomb's going to get planted in all this. Blade might find Naf, that's fine. But he still is going to have to push forward and try and take them back. And Mixwell again takes that kill. He picks up a weapon on this, and it's the man advantage for OpTic. As Shara goes down at the hands of Rush. He's limited to PopDog with a mere 5 HP to work with as Waylander tries to get near the default position, but it's Mixwell to hold it. Trades against Daps, and still that leaves them with the man advantage. World Edit AWP in hand. How valuable is it? Well, apparently not very, because he commits to a push that wasn't ever really likely, and Rush finds him through the edge of the smoke. Markelov needs to save this second one, hits Mixwell, but down to 14. And how does he escape? Because if he goes, oh, thankfully, I believe it was Stanislaw, didn't have his gun drawn, was running with his knife trying to catch him off. Because that could have been it right there.
Obviously, the option was there to go towards Ivy, but the T's can actually rotate through their main connector and catch him on the other side, so I guess he was going for a little bit of a riskier play, get towards CD spawn. It does work out for him, but there it is. It's a big round for OpTic to win. Like I said, that's a full reset potential coming in if Flipside were to drop that round. Very nice execution, as you pointed out. OpTic is throwing absolutely everything. Bomb planted within the smoke before any frag or exchange. Blade, once again, he gets 1 kill, but then he's isolated by Mixwell. He's stuck in that position where he has nowhere to fall back to. He gets taken down, that opens up the window of opportunity, and now we go into round number 8. AWP has been saved in the hands of Markelov, but his teammates can't justify really joining in with him with the expenses. They're going to just have default pistols and a couple of PT-50, that's it. And we'll see whether OpTic Gaming can just negate this AWP. Markelov trying to step up here. He was towards lower ramp, but can't get anything for his money here.
Daps again going to be the one holding the angle. Instead, Rush is going to push back the corner this time. Shara, World Edit, Markelov, 3 players inside this B site with pistols. Trying to get a little bit more aggressive to hold off any fast play from OpTic, but it is a lot of commitment. 5 players here, so not the standard default. Grouped up. Thankfully not going Hail Mary, not going super fast into what is a stack with this AWP. Missed shot, Markelov, that should have been a hit any day of the week, but unfortunately it's given access as Stanislaw will take Shara. Drop bomb by World Edit, shot back into him, but they'll easily recover that, get it toward the default position. Naf the one to do so. Then it's still wreaking havoc though as he picks up a second kill onto Daps, entering through from upper. And Blade trying to do a drive-by, get damage in where he can, because they've got that Rush down to 28, Naf on 70, but it won't matter. Mixwell and Rush collect the final 2, 4-4 tie game. And that missed shot from Markelov, yeah, surprising.
He's should be hitting that. That's a very simple shot for any AWP, not even a top AWP, but should be nailing that. Pretty much walks out the upper ramp. And it looked to me it was on him, but we'll have to watch that in slow motion to get any sort of confirmation. World Edit did step up, silence USP, finding 2 kills, both headshots as well, pretty impressive. But still, this is a double eco situation for Flipside. That all didn't amount to absolutely anything. So it's going to be Desert Eagles 5-7s and no utility whatsoever. We have 1 flashbang. And it looks like they'll be stacking towards outside. Shara's the only player towards in up. He's got some body armor as well to try and help him out. This should be OpTic taking the lead now after that early advantage Flipside had. A few key errors have cost them some big rounds.
Shara waiting bottom ramp and Daps again to corner, so straightforward start. The difference is in the default this time. Nafly's actually pushed up to Ivy, and interestingly enough, as they still are in this double eco situation, it's aggressive toward A main. There's a chance for him to push through late. He's got to do so because they've gotten the kill, they've gotten the gun. Markelov with the AK, but Rush pulls that back. And now Now's position can be threatening to Blade. Good pick up from Mixwell. World Edit down. Just 2 left to find, and Bomb slowly heading over toward Daps because they've got all the faith in him to enter into B. Last player left in front of them. Easily found.
Yeah, pretty simple procedure there. Once again, it's Flipside trying to push in towards A main. Just with the pistols in hand, though, not really going to find too much of it. They get 1 kill, but Mixwell falling back. Doesn't give too much away. Drops a couple of players with his P250. We go into round number 10. Once again, that double AWP setup. Markelov, let's see whether he can step up this time. It's World Edit. They've been pretty quiet with those AWPs, but still pretty early days here. It's going to be 5-4 in favor of OpTic. Default's working out very well for them indeed. Mixwell's on the AWP himself now, so this will be more of the same, I'm assuming. Just slow it right down, see if there are any picks, any aggressive sort of plays. And Mixwell is going towards main entrance, so maybe he'll go for that first pick. Molotov goes out, and actually jumps out towards E-Box as well. It's quite aggressive for an AWPer.
And is very aggressive as World Edit will find the first kill, rotates over just to make sure that they aren't trying to counter rush on that first pick. But it's Rush instead out from PopDog, tagged up significantly inside of the smoke, but Daps is there to follow up and take the kill. A push forward as well. It's Shara that needs to get forward to the flames. That's going to leave him in the open, but he manages to get 2 kills from it. It's Stanislaw going down, leaves just Nafly. Much better round from Flipside, and Mixwell this time the one to get over aggressive.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess he had the decent spawn. He wanted to show that he's got more up his sleeve than just holding A main. Goes out towards E-Box, smokes it down as well. It's like he did have cover. There was some sort of objective there, but World Edit just waiting for him in the connector area. Very simple shot for him in the end. His teammates in the form of OpTic do try to react very quickly. As soon as he goes down, they're rushing through PopDog as well, trying to get the refrags in, but crossfires for Flipside are very effective, and that double AWP setup works tremendously well. So 5-5, and I think this game's going to be very interesting indeed. It seems like not really much separating these two teams. A lot of mistakes being made either side, but still exciting rounds nonetheless. 5 acres this time for OpTic.
And money is still a tight situation on either side. 3-round reset coming in potentially if Flipside drop this, but also no cash left over right now on OpTic side, and Markelov's going to get the first pick. So Flipside starting off well, did get tagged down to 48 in that, but as the AWP player, HP less of a factor than the accuracy and positioning. As Blade goes hunting inside of quad. Now Mixwell is pushed up. He had no idea that he was there again. So Mixwell continues to be a factor again. We called him out last round for being over-aggressive, but he has found a considerable amount of opening kills for his team in that position. And Stanislaw takes the advantage and narrows it down to just 3 versus 3. In fact, erases it. Stanislaw is going to make it better than that on top of the train. Rush has position, but not the bomb. It's in the hands of Stan, so he needs to push forward, make space for him. And as they go for the plant, Smoke still on the connector at Z. It's both from the back of the site by which they'll approach this retake, and they don't have a kit to do so.
Yeah, horrible situation. There 2 orbs to retake the outside bomb site. It's a difficult retake with rifles. This is almost not possible. It's going to be taking an absolute world-class performance. Somehow World Edit hits that shot. Still a lot of work to do here. 2 player terrorists remain.
World Edit spotted his gun barrel, nearly gets the second one as Mixwell comes up a little bit light on the first peak, but Markelov now again has to do this with an AWP 1 versus 2, and I think the backing away says it all.
Yeah.
As with no kit, time's already gone. AWP going to be very important. He's going to go out Ivy. Now, as you say, you can catch them off. Stanislaw is already going out toward main connector to try and do so. The Markelov doesn't even need to go that far. Sit in behind the server and just wait.
So the 3 versus 2. Flipside really did have to go for that retake. Like I said, it was almost impossible with 2 orbs trying to retake that position. The options were save the AWPs or lose that round and go for it and see what you can do in that 3 versus 2, but they have been fully reset now. I think they did manage to save an orb, so the money wasn't as bad as it was before, but you can see there's a couple of Famises here, 2 M4s, and that open World Edit. That's the one that needs to step up here. He needs to be finding that first pick. Like to see maybe go towards Ivy, maybe towards the inner area of the upper platform. We'll be focusing towards connector for now, but this is a great chance for OpTic to dig their heels in and get a few rounds on the board against this weak buy.
Mixwell AWP this time smoked off. Waiting for the trade push potentially as well, as Stanislaw was there in case they got aggressive as they have done. Remember, every time they did, Mixwell had the rifle himself, but the AWP is a little more vulnerable to that. So smart buddy system in place. Nafly again going to go out toward Ivy. 4-man setup for the CTs inside of the A site with World Edit and Waylander playing together on top of the bomb train itself, potentially trying to get close enough to deny the default and fast plant.
When you're going to have this sort of setup, it's more traditional to have the AWP towards that upper platform, like I said before. You can get a little bit more aggressive and get some information there. It means you've got time to call for the rotations. Shower there by himself with the Famis in hand. If he gets taken down, that's pretty much round over the setup they have right now. So they need to be very careful. It's a bit of a gamble. We'll see what works out for them here. It looks like another default once again for OpTic. Will be Mixwell trying to work the first pick as well.
And 5 smokes So as they are grouped outside of A main, there's a good chance they try and go for an inner execution again with these fast smoke setup. There is 3, now make it 2. In fact, make it 1. One more on A main and Ivy coming out from the CTs, so they don't have much left. But it is well timed because the smokes just started to come in from the terrorist side and they're canceled out. They can't go fast against them. So Blade's going to have vision when they arrive. We'll see if he can take advantage of it. Gets elevated on top of the train to play a better angle, but they're pushing both sides of him. Spots one, can't land it, and Mixwell shuffles out onto the opposite side of the train to find him with the AWP. So good timing, but the refrag's coming in. World Edit onto Stanislaw. It's Daps that has to pull this back and make it 2 versus 2. 10 seconds. They have to get this bomb over. Nafly's got the kill onto Shara. That'll open up the opportunity to do so, but they have to commit to the plant. So for the moment, and the moment passed, it was a one-on-one, Markelov versus Naf, but now Daps is back in the fight, having put that bomb down. 22 HP, though, to work with. And Markelov's got time. 48 HP on his side. A kit, no nades, but he's trying to change his angle up, change his approach up, and Daps is expecting him still to come out from Ivy. In fact, he's committed to it. He hasn't even turned around yet with this timing, and he could be a sitting duck as Markelov. That's going to give it away. Does it not? Daps not moving, just lets him walk in. Clever play from Daps.
Was ambitious going for the wall bang towards heaven. That does very little damage indeed. And you have to get a pinpoint accuracy. It gives his position away, essentially, like you said. And that was an angle he probably would have checked. Had he not gone for that wall bang, probably would have gone into that tight corner. Gives his position away, knows the game's up, the bomb's ticking away, has to run round, and that's a big, big round for OpTic to win there. You can see the money now, complete tatters for Flipside. That was a big round in the sense that would have broken either team. It's been very close rounds the last couple, and you can see that reflected right now on OpTic's buy. It's not too much to read into, considering they know they're up against a Fleek here, but they've got a UMP in the hands of Naf, Daps, and Stanislaw with MAC-10s. This means they need to stick together, maybe go towards the inside side. Rush in with those SMGs, but it's going to be straight out towards upper. Nav kicking out first 2 kills there.
Rush takes down Markelov as well right after. Blade and Shara, last 2 alive, and they both get kills. One of which picks up a gun, that's Shara, but it's now just he, as Mixwell found his teammate first. 8-5 now as they continue to build on this terrorist side. Not quite the double eco this time, but not, well, if Markelov wants to, he can go glass cannon. I was going to say not an AWP, but he's not going to do it. So they will go to the 5 rifle setup. In fact, World Edit committing to a scout right now on the CT side.
That's a tough round coming in here for Flipside. A scout and 4 rifles against Mixwell. He seems to be playing out of his mind right now. 15 for 9 for him. Like you said, the European import has been a great asset to this team, I feel. And we have got Devil Walk as the coach now. But interesting enough, Matt, he's not actually allowed to be the coach of this tournament. He has to sit outside in the crowd and just spectate. He signed up a little bit too late.
Yeah, missed the deadline date. It's all right, though. Good to have him here. And look, he's not behind them, which means he doesn't get to have his effect directly on the game, but he can still watch demos, he can still provide feedback and see what the team's doing and do the post-match analytic kind of role, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mixwell looking toward Hitch. Smoke out on him. They've already discovered that he's here as he's fired a shot toward the Ivy position. Does so again to try and preemptive strike against the flash, but won't happen for him this time. And as all that transpires, the rest of his teammates have worked their way into B. Daps down, but look at the spray through as Shara, the smoke dissipates, finds 2, and this will completely thwart their plans of attacking the B site. Nafly's just arrived with the bomb. They're gonna have to rely on Stanislaw from upper to find the pick, and smoked off as he is, that's not likely. 53 seconds, they could rotate back over, but they need an opening. And right now it's Shara that's looking to spoil that yet again. A 3rd kill potentially? No, Naf manages to drop off the ledge just in time to avoid the headshot. But it's World Edit still inside. The scout, we mentioned it. They've got a man advantage. They're going to concede the plant, but hold for the retake potential. 2 kits, 1 on World Edit, 1 on Markelov. And World Edit missing the first scout shot, but at least knows where Nafly's gone, but he hit the shot in return. It's suddenly turning around. Has bombed down, it acts as the extra man, it acts as the magnet to pull them into orb, but Waylander getting Naf. It's just 2 to hold off the push. Good smoke out for Mixwell. He hears him jumping toward the ladder, but Markelov through the smoke, able to find him as Stanislaw. Last chance effort, timing, and a flash. And they know where he is. Waylander should be caught by this if he can focus on the defuse, which has gotten off of it. It was their only chance.
Got a bit hairy there, Matt. And it's going to be Markelov defusing here, but it was Shara that opened things up there. It was a difficult round for them in terms of what they had available, but he was actually playing towards that lower ramp train, using the ladder to spot over that smoke as well. I think, well, yeah, so he just missed him peeking over, but he does spot both those players before he gets the spray down. It's not like he completely guessed and got them there. He did get vision of both of their heads, but drops off. Really nice work from him. Did it go a little bit too aggressive, in my opinion, at that point when they just had to, you need to wait for teammates to come in. He kind of isolated his teammate with the scout who was World Edit, but still, they come out on top. It's 8-6, and we go to round number 15 here. The last of the first half, and you can see OpTic Gaming struggling. They've got Galil or Tech9. There is an open Mixwell though, so this could be very reliant on him working that first pick. He's got that decent spawn again. Will he be audacious enough to actually go for that full rush that we saw before? He's going for the first defensive pick. Going to be flashed off for now, but does get some intel here as he gets that shot fired.
Yeah, now the op knows where he is, and he in turn knows where the op is, but who's got the better positioning right now is World Edit on top of the train. Should be able to cover off his escape through A main if he goes backward. He's changed his angle though and gone to watch the alley to do the same. Nade does minor damage. In fact, not at all. The blade, it looked like it was going to hit for a fraction. Just goes slightly too deep. Regardless, no approach this time onto the B site. Rush has gone toward OpTic. That opening pick should open it up for the 3-2 split coming out in. Naf's going to be the one late player at Ivy. Takes down Markelov, and for sure that's the entry. As Blade has it all to do from quad. He's found by Stan. Mixwell, easy lineup to Waylander. Shara 1 versus 5, and it looks like a 9-6 half is where we'll end. As OpTic, a decent start in this game. Mixwell as well, an excellent start. 17 kills at the half for him.
Great stuff. That last run especially, very patient, and their defaults, they're disciplined. They're making Flipside actually present the mistakes there, and they did it time and time again. Too much aggression at the start, and then World Edit over-facing towards those last few rounds. So Mixwell, very convincing stuff. 17-10 and 9-6 for the Terrorists as well.
Well, we'll take a short break. It's an elimination match, and OpTic has the lead, but Flipside, they're tactical. We'll see if they can get back into it. With 9-6, as it was all to play for, and Mixwell was really the one stepping up to make this all possible. A lot of opening kills, some of which were gifted to him by over-aggression on Flipside's part.
I would say absolutely there. It seems like they were really adamant on pushing that main entrance position. There was no real reason to. It was the first early gun rounds there. They were trying to do too much at the start. They did 2 rounds in a row. They were key as well. After winning the pistol, only getting 6 rounds of CT, that's pretty disappointing. They go into the second half here. We say they are the more convincing team in terms of tactical approach. On your screen right now, Mixwell, 108 ADR. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty nuts for someone like him. Obviously, wasn't even a big name in terms of the way he played in Europe. Everyone knew he was very talented. NA was perfect for him, I think. Go over there, refine himself as a player, get himself in a team.
I think Barcelona was a big step for him in terms of that, because he played very well at that tournament. That was his first sort of international exposure in some ways that, you know, there was a lot of people watching that tournament, and it led to where he is now. But you're right, he was well known. He was well known within the PUG scene, in the, you know, the Face It Pro League scene at times. So interesting to see that develop, and a lot more players now that salaries are viable moving over to that NA for opportunity.
Well, let's see if Flipside can bounce back here. They've got out 3 sets of armor, very similar buy to what we saw from OpTic, 2 smokes as well. It's actually quite a similar setup here. We've got 2 players towards Ivy, 3 towards the inside area, but the bomb's on the other side this time.
And it's Stanislaw and Nafly that are playing out toward Ivy this time. Remember, that's where it was all foiled for OpTic. But as you mentioned, very crucially, the bomb is at ladder. And I actually like that more a little bit in the strategy because it gives it the option. If they can find the opening picks, great, go A. If not, it's in a fast position to hit B.
There is the option there from the Ivy players to go towards the back track to CT and actually go through spawn. That's a very interesting idea. They're backing off right now. Maybe they're just going towards Ivy for the initial push from the CTs. Actually there to challenge it, take down that initial aggression. But like I said, it's always much of a better idea to actually stick together as a 5-man unit when you're going towards these bomb sites. Go together, you're guaranteed a bomb plant at that stage, and you have a chance to hold it off as well. Interesting enough, though, OpTic have 2 HE grenades. They're not for the smoke. Obviously, we have that for the post-plant Molotov, but they have the airstrike available when the bomb's planted. That could be pretty interesting.
And Daps and Nafly are the ones holding them, but they're spread out right now. 2 smokes, and as they group on B, this indicates to me 1 at connector, potentially through the roof. There it is, and the second toward the sidewalk. Actually, I take that back. The second one's actually to cover off the second alley so that they can cross the bomb over faster, but they don't anticipate Rush, who's up close behind the spools. Bomb drop, no one to follow that up for a trade. It's Waylander who actually has to change obligation and turn back, change his responsibility and his role in the round, but it's going to be Mixwell to get Markelov as it comes down to a man advantage for OpTic Gaming. And this time, potentially more to work with, but bomb goes down, and Shara getting up close. He's the high HP player in all this. He gets taken by Stanislaw, but he slowed them a little bit. Kit's still on Nafly, 2 HP, and Blade's going to try and play the high ground.
Yeah, but with 10 HP in his possession, and they know exactly where it is at this point, 1 fake defuse will have to draw him out. There it is, he goes down. There's not really many options there. Once you've committed to the lower ramp area, you obviously got upper or lower. That's it. It's 50-50. They need to land 1 bullet. They do it as he comes out. And it's the bomb going down the Flipside, like I said. Even though they don't win the round, they do have something to work with going forward. So still not out of it just yet, but that was pretty good. We saw Rush there, playing the spools area, baited in by his teammates. They run straight past him. Bomb didn't go down initially, but they get it down in the end.
An SMG buy, interestingly enough, they're going heavy on the SMGs.
Those HEs, I kind of speculated that was for the stopping the bomb going down. Actually, I think threw those a little bit prematurely as well. As soon as they saw them coming down lower ramp, they threw them towards that area. I think once you know they're on the site, that's when you can really make them effective. I thought that'd be a really cool idea to actually stop the bomb going down itself, and that could have been cool, but didn't work out that way. Of course, Flipside will be the full AK this round. They're going to the 3rd with the AK, so if they can get a bomb down here, amazing. That'd be the best case scenario. Can't win the round. If they can somehow fake it out and get the bomb planted, maybe a couple of kills, limit the CT economy a little bit more, that'd be great. But you can see OpTic, they have got 2 rifles here and a UMP as well. Not the best weapons to take into the next round, I have to say. I'd prefer them to kind of force up with the FAMASs and prepare themselves for the AKs that are coming. Especially on a map like Train as well. Lots of long-range opportunities.
Stanislaw waiting with the gap. Potentially spot Blade, who is waiting inside of A main. Waylander and Markelov looking to go back from Ivy and join the rest of their teammates, try and get a bomb plant down. Daps already has corner at B, though, so because of this, they've rotated all over Rush. He's already inside of that A side as well, and if they go in this position, it's 4 players to confront before they even get to the bomb. So a good positional play from Daps just to have the information, just to lock them out. Molotov will buy more space and time, and Blade's already inside of the site in the ladder. We can see it to the left, so no support from World Edit, all due to the timing of that. Double kill, make it triple now. A 4th, potentially no, he gets the assist instead, but all with the MP9 from Mixwell, who continues to add to his stats and also his bank account in this round.
Absolutely, $600 per kill for that one, and it's going to be a clean sweep there for OpTic. I think they should be upgrading a couple of those SMGs I can see right now. So they got a FAMAS, an M4, and they can keep the UMP. 1 MP9's fine. Like, Daps can try and build his bankroll going forward. We have got the AWP on Mixwell.
And that he buys to 0, and it's all due to those MP9. So very, very early, but those kills reap huge rewards for them, because with this early buy, guess what? AWP to go against them, even though there's still 2 SMGs and a FAMAS.
Yeah, I think this is a real strong string to their bow here. Going forward with that AWP, obviously not going to be challenged by them, so you can be a little bit more aggressive there, take some more audacious angles. Molotov goes towards the upper round. That's a stop any aggressive play from the CT to start. It's a very common angle, as I detailed before. If a CT gets that, he gets a ton of information at the start of the round. You can see Naf, though, he's on the other side of the map. He pushed towards Ivy. He saw a player in T-spawn, but that suggests it's actually going to be maybe a B-side of the attack, because he's got no presence towards Ivy whatsoever.
Waylander waiting for any push that may potentially come in from an up-close player at that upper corner. He's not willing to face around the corner just yet, though, because with Mixwell here on an AWP, that could be problematic. He was considering rotating, but now that the smokes have come in, he's actually slightly out of position to use that AWP. He's going to try to get on the floor, use the gaps toward the bomb train, and it's Daps that's going to have to do the damage on entry. But again, Mixwell with this timing isn't sure exactly where to play from. He's waiting for the smokes to dissolve, and they haven't done so yet, so World Edit taking daps. There's nothing they can do just yet. Instead, Mixwell tries to position for the default plant, covers the most common push position as well from the terrorists in post plant down beside the tanker. But they have to concede this. They have to let this come in. It's Stan that'll start the charge off, try and discombobulate them. A nade as well to do further damage. They're so low on this Flipside team, but look at this, a 1 versus 4. They've got all the kills. It's an AWP as well, and Mixwell misses the second shot. A pistol would do it. A pistol would do it, but he doesn't know it. Finally goes for the shot, hits World Edit, but he's on 16 HP. And he has no kit in this situation. He's got to pick one up from his teammates. He's going to creep ever closer, scoped in so that the scope itself won't give him away if he has to go for it up close, but he's found by Blade.
Did you notice then the incendiary actually came in from the CT? It flew over the top. It should have landed on both the low HP players as well, but I think it bounced and exploded in the air. They got nothing at all from that incendiary. That would have taken them both down as well, or at least made them both face at the same time. That was a really key moment. I'm not sure why it didn't explode. I didn't catch it on my monitor, but that was very key indeed. Nice execution there from Flipside, going towards that inside area. The first orb shot misses, and that does play OpTic Gaming into a world of pain right now. They don't really have much to work with here. They've gone for 3 smokes, upgraded pistols, CZs and PT50s, 157. But the orb now in the hands of World Edit. This is a chance for them to get back into this one. That's a big round for them to win. As I said, that's first round plant. It's so important. If you can just guarantee the plant in the pistol round, that's enough to work with in the T half.
So OpTic do get 2 rounds before the early buy pays off for Flipside, and they can bring this back. In fact, they're going to continue to do so against these pistols. World Edit, Markelov, Blade with 2. And all 5 potentially staying alive, and this starts to build up their economy, which is important. It now gives them almost a full round in hand. After the next, they'll be able to buy regardless.
Well, it's an interesting decision now for OpTic. They don't have to force into this round. They have a nice advantage. It's 11-8. It would be a limited buy right now. This could actually really cost them in terms of going forward and actually limiting themselves, and that's one of the hardest situations to control. CT side train, you're force buying constantly, you're having very close rounds, anything you win is 1v1s. Looks like they are going to be buying up to it fully. Will be the AWP, 2 Famouses, 2 M4s, no kits. Not the greatest amount of utility here, so they've gone for the more confident approach, I guess. It's going to be daps in the lower ramp area. And quite a fast play from Flipside, straight towards inside. Not giving anything away here, smoking the CTs out. And up to Mixwell now, he has got that orb. And he's towards the connectors. You can see him right now, he's looking for anyone boosting up and looking for that little kill at the start.
Potential to find it. Texture glitch there for us, but either way, World Edit trying to find the shot onto Daps as he shoulder peeks. The second peek from Mixwell, better off. And he's looking for more just above the head of Shara, which allows him to drop into the site. But is he in the clutches of Daps? Apparently not. Waylander's going to take him down, secure rite of passage to allow that bomb to be recovered and potentially planted at default. But watch Nafly, because over on the left, if they haven't got detection on him, if they haven't spotted him, he could be a real problem in this smart smoke to come out to negate that. And more importantly, Markelov taking down the flank gives them a real chance to secure this post-plant position. Naf still trying to utilize the smoke and timing to get closer. Spots 1, headshot available. He's got 2. Naf has turned the round firmly in the favor of OpTic. And all they have to do now is hold off Markelov. And the Molotov goes out early, but he's kept himself in this, but only 2 HP. And Mixwell there to make it 12 rounds now for OpTic.
Yeah, the inside push, not as successful there for Flipside. It's Mixwell. This time, he's watching the lower round like a hawk. He does get challenged by World Edit, but he hits the shot. Gets 2 in the end as well, but Naf, it came down to him. His flank, the timings could have been so different. It works out in his favor just about as he walks around the train. I think this is the play right now. So he comes down, you can see it was Waylander that was watching that angle for so long. The moment he looks away, he gets taken down. It's really good teamwork from OpTic there. It was a difficult round for them to win in terms of the money. 1 orb, 2 Famouses, and we'll see what the reply is from Flipside. I think they have got a ton of cash. They've had a couple of successful rounds here. Let's mark off on your screen there. Well, they're back on the AWP, but things get a bit tense now for Flipside. They will be broken after this round. Same goes for OpTic, though, really. They had to reinvest a lot of money into this round just to get the utility bounced up, and Mixwell back on the orb. There is a Famous, but the kit's available this time, so in the context of this match, this round is very important for both sides.
Waylander with Shara. Gonna try and probe out this B site and force the CTs back slightly. So 12-8, back and forth. Again in the second half. Molotov out behind the server, but not a peek to try and catch anyone that would be scurrying away from it. Instead, it's Blade that tries to imitate Mixwell and take down players pushing through, but the trade successful for Stanislaw is going to pull this back to 4-on-4. However, it does thin the defense slightly. That's how you should be approaching that situation. If you're going to go all in like that, you need to have the refrag potential. You can't go in one, and then 5 seconds later, the other comes in to kind of rectify that mistake. Go in together, be assertive, and that's fine. For the CTs, it's not great, but it's better than losing 2 players, that's for sure. 4-on-4 now. Flipside do have 3 smokes available still, and one over the AWP, and that's Stanislaw giving too much away. I don't think that was required whatsoever. They've got no information on the map. That's obviously what he's trying to hunt for right now, but that's such a horrible position, such a tight choke point for him to try and work in towards, and that just opened the floodgates towards inside, maybe even for a fake here. You can see the CT's rotating in. They've got 3 players remaining. 2 of them are towards that connector area now, so Naf got his work cut out for him. Well, he goes down immediately as well because Markelov was just waiting for a rotation in that position in case anyone else did still reside there. And as a result, it's Daps and Mixwell to save immediately. They have to, as they only have $100 on Mixwell, 1,000 on Daps, and he's one of the more wealthy players on this team as we can see it now. Stanislaw only 150 more. Such a poor move from Stanislaw, I have to say. Just thinking about it now, like that kind of play, when you get the call from your teammate who's playing inside, he's called it. I've spotted 3 players inside now. It's very unlikely to have someone watching the flank. That's fine. You can push up that area. But just going up there for no real reason, that loses in the round, hands down. Just while that scoreboard was up, I don't know if you caught it or not, 25 kills for Mixwell. He is firmly carrying this team right now. Rush has 13. He's the next closest. Wow, 25 kills, and he wants more by the looks of things. Takes that Markelov, and once again, they will be saving weapons here. Orb and M4. But it's a pretty clean round for Flipside. I said that one was important. The money is going to be heavily effective for OpTic, but once again, with Mixwell playing the way he is right now, that Orb could be enough to win them rounds. If he positioned himself correctly at the start, maybe go aggressive towards Ivy, looking for that first pick, that can be enough just to funnel the terrorist to where he wants to go, where the stack of his teammates may be going. But they're going to be forcing this, interesting enough. There have been some questionable decisions with the economy for OpTic. It's a Nova, a 5-7, and a Famus. Not the strongest, man, I have to say, but, you know, Nova can be good, maybe, you know. Why not? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt if he can pull this off. Does get one good shot, but he doesn't get more than that. In fact, he only took him down to 82 from that range. So Nova not paying off. Rush, however, good positioning inside smoke at quad. Could potentially hit a headshot, but looks away as Markelov comes in and has to reset his crosshair. Not fast enough in doing so. As Blade finds Daps, it's all down to Mixwell. As much of this game has been in some respects, but alone, perhaps not the best chance for him as he's got the AWP, and this might be worth saving as Flipside is starting to close the gap. It's going to go to 12-10 here. Just 2 rounds apart, and money still not building up on the CT side. It's very, very hard to pull back on the CT side. We talked about this yesterday, in fact. And it's just so much harder to get buys in every single round, even with a bonus, and at this round, it's only 1. It'll be 2 now going against them. Well, it is Mixwell trying to do what he can, but you're absolutely right. The money is going to be in a horrible state of affairs. Mixwell's actually dancing with the devil a little bit here towards Connector. He hasn't got the best position, and our terror is swarming in. Doesn't look like I'll be finding him just yet, so that's good news. He managed to keep that weapon alive once again. 12-10 though. Flipside are closing the gap for sure. You can have a look now. It's going to be $1,900 coming in for the CT, so they have the orb. They were to force buy again. This is exactly the sort of perils I was describing before. The CT economy can run away with you, especially with saving weapons as well, like they were before. It's very tempting to force into those ones. You think, well, there is a chance. We've got an orb here. There's a chance we could win this round. But if you don't, this is the kind of situation you get yourself into. So they're taking the more conservative approach here. 4 USPs, the orb on Mixwell. Like I said, try and get a pick maybe towards Ivy, something like that. He'll be towards outside by himself. He's trying to funnel the terrorist towards inner. That's where his teammates are. It's a 4-man stack towards that area. Shara and World Edits, the ones over at B this time with Nafly, Rush, Daps, and Stanislaw inside of the B site. Mixwell alone, AWP, close angle as well to hold A main. He's trying to catch them early so that they can shut down any chance of entrance on A before it even transpires, really, to get the man advantage and work with it. But a smart play and smart read from Flipside to just slow it. Try and get a read against it. Bomb dropped inside of the upper hallways. Blade gonna grab that and head back toward A. And Mixwell's rotated way back toward Ivy as well, so lots of space for them to work with now. They know exactly what's going on here. They've read the situation in terms of the money. They know there's an orb available. Figure out the map, run a complete default at this stage. Don't need to give too much away. Even if they drop one player here, that's the signal just to get to the other side of the map. You see they're spread out right now. It will be an A split by the looks of things, but Mixwell, that's the position he's in. Has the opportunity to fall back as well, so could make something of this.
First shot had to land it though. Doesn't really go in his favor. Markelov takes him down. So that's a weapon gone. Round over at this stage. That's the only chance they had of actually making anything happen in number 23, but not meant to be.
Blade goes for a plant, but flames are on him when he does so. So he has to back away down to 78 HP. Finally does stick it, but it is going to be World Edit. Looking into the smoke, can't find the shot, but does spot him jumping away. Stanislaw hits the shot on Rush instead, and they could continue to walk into his crosshair. He's got the support of Blade, who finds one. World Edit gives up on the AWP to the pistol. Still not able to hit him with the op,
he'll get there. He'll get there.
Doesn't really matter, does it? The round itself is still gone the way of Flipside. And now it will be 4 in a row.
Indeed, and like we said, Mixwell had to do something there, but money about the 4K mark, no what's available, and they will finally take an eco on the chin here at a situation where they could buy, but they want the things to build up. They want to allow themselves to actually get to a stage they can have maybe a double orb set up, and it's been Flipside building up tons of cash and keeping strong amount of players alive. Each round they're winning here in the last 3.
Yeah, only 3 kills in the last 3 rounds. 3 in a row, my mistake, not 4, but it is still, as you say, money built up, 1 round apart. OpTic and Flipside, for that matter, both still have a timeout left. See if that comes into effect as Shara spots one at the bottom of the ramp at B. That's Daps that he puts a little bit of early aggression onto, takes him down to 46, and World Edit has found Naf. So things starting off well again in an anti-eco for Flipside.
Yeah, not really much to report here. It's the CTs trying to get anything they can for it. They did get some body armor, trying to boost their chances of doing something with these pistols here, but Markelov, World Edit, just doing work here, full default, wait for them to walk into crosshairs. They're the ones that need to hunt for information. They need to find that advantage at the start of the round. So sit back, and now it's a 5-on-3. Daps gone down to 46 HP as well. This is the chance now. Flipside, will we think bringing things into 12-12? So that's actually 5 rounds in the second half on the T side. It's currently 5-3. We'll be 6-3 after this one. And we said, Flipside, we didn't count them out of this game, regardless of losing the first half. Their T side is always going to be strong.
Waylander around the corner is going to be confronted by Daps. The shoulder peek actually gives him away, but he's still able to recover at 1 HP. Sparingly recover it. But it is still the kill, and now a 3-minute advantage as Stanislaw and Rush with just pistols. Going to try and pull some guns away if they can. It's their best hope in this, as we are going to have a tie game, and again, that money still not strong. It'll hit a 4th round in the bonus amount, so they'll be able to buy in the next.
Yeah, at this point, you can see the last 2 remaining players have body armor. They might as well try and save that. You don't need head armor against the AKs. They've established there's no SMGs available. They haven't killed anyone, so there's no possibility of that happening. Keep the armor. The upgraded pistols could be beneficial as well. So considering their HP, that's all they want to do at this point. Got to be falling back.
Question is now as well, we saw Flipside go for it and use the double op on the CT side when they were having trouble picking up rounds.
Yeah.
Does OpTic try and do so themselves?
I would say so. The way things are going right now, they need to change things up. The M4s aren't working for them. Mixwell can't do this alone. He's kind of dropped off in the last 4 rounds. I would say it's almost certain they'll get the double orb set up at this point. They're limited themselves. The fact they got that armor as well. I don't see what the point behind that was, but let's see what they decide to do. Looks like they will not be going for the double orb setup. It's going to be Mixwell once again by himself. They have got smokes incendiaries this time. It's a stronger bow. I haven't seen one like this in quite a while, but took a couple of rounds in. Took some ecos when they had opportunities to buy as well. I kind of wanted to see a little bit earlier on, but Flipside with a ton of cash now, even after the rebuys. What did it? $13,000. Shara not far behind them, 12. It's pretty nuts how much money they've got going forward. They're pretty much set up for the rest of the game now.
Yeah, pretty significant detail. Waylander by default takes out windows so as to mask any possibility of a read, and smoke's going in through it later on. Pretty default standard play. Mixwell and Daps both inside B, and Mixwell, the AWP is watching upper. As Daps gets more passive, they both have a potential to rotate quickly toward A if needed, as World Edit and Markelov start to push out toward the Ivy position. It's Nafly and Rush that would be able to set a crossfire, so long as Rush doesn't have to be preoccupied watching A main. That's where Blade could come into this. If they time it correctly, they could segregate Naf on this and try and walk in. They're not feeling confident on that flip side, still slowing it down. They've had good reads in the previous rounds, as you mentioned, not even really giving up many kills to OpTic.
Yeah, there's working the nice defaults here. There's been a lot of strange pushes from the CT side of both teams, in fact, and maybe being a little bit impatient and trying to end things quicker than they could, but Now, Flipside haven't been presented with much. It's 40 seconds remaining. This looks like the inside play coming in right now. Still Markelov. He'll be towards Ivy for now, as his teammates do set up for that execution. Mixwell, you're going to be watching this like a hawk. As soon as these smokes come in, that's pretty much guaranteeing it's the last move. Got to let Flipside, and let's see if they can hold it off.
Well, they're going aggressively. Smoke on connector, second one on the alley to allow the cross. Daps has to focus on upper because of it, and that's smoked out as well. A quick smoke intentionally designed to allow a drop into the site. And that means Daps has no vision, no line of sight. As he tries to find just one to kill, he can't even spot it. It's Mixwell that now has the AWP fixed on Waylander. Stan may have found one, but that's not enough. And Waylander getting him in return as he spots the tracers coming through the smoke. It's all to play for Flipside. And one kid on Naf. An AWP on Mixwell, a retake that's looking less and less likely as time goes on, but do find the shot on Blade. Watch the keen fire potential coming in as they line up, and Rush gets two. It's all suddenly onto Markelov. He's got no Molotov from this position. He's already peeking it out, and Mixwell spots him with the AWP. OpTic will not give up the lead.
What a retake that was from OpTic. Just like he said, it looked like it was going horribly wrong with Rush. It's Flipside. They're not playing defensive position. They're wanting to take the duel. They're pushing down, which normally is the right idea to make, but you want to be doing that very early on the round. You want to establish those strong positions before the rotations come in. Unfortunately for them, they're actually doing it while the CT's already waiting there and actually hunting terrorists. They're running out of time. They need to find kills here. And that was kind of nuts for me for Flipside. Bomb ticking away, just had to fall back and get towards the inner ramp, and Markelov left in a 3 versus 1. With the bomb in the state it was as well. If he found one kill, could have been enough. But Mixwell, once again, finding some form as he lands the final kill. Has to be 13-12 in favor of OpTic, but once again, it's a full reset potential matters. Isn't necessarily too much of a bad situation for Flipside, but Rush does get the first kill here on the outside Rush.
Waylander takes down Stanislaw. Brings it back to 4 versus 4, but Mixwell again going to offset that. He's traded out as he gets caught out by the hitch. Good smoke entrance so far from Flipside to allow them the position, and suddenly it's just Daps remaining. World Edit staring that smoke down. He walks in, and an easy kill picked up. 13-13, reset is hit.
Yeah, you can hear the roars behind us. They know how much that round wins. That's probably the first vocal indicator we've seen from that side of the pitch, but 13-13, and now OpTic, they can't really afford to buy anything here. Flipside, potential double eco as well. You can see we've got 1600 on Mixwell, Stanislaw on 2600. I think they just take a full eco here. They can squeeze out a buy next round. Won't be the prettiest, but it'll be something to work with. This is looking like a huge advantage now for Flipside. Like I said, they've got enough money to carry through the rest of the game now. So even if they were to drop around after this, that reset potential just looms over them ever so slightly every single time.
Shot, World Edit, Naf just gives it to him.
Yep. Didn't really fancy that round.
Yeah, I'm done. You guys have fun. I'll join you in the next one.
This is a full eco, to be fair. It was probably going to happen anyway. They've got a couple of deagles, that's it. But Stanislaw, okay, does something with it. Does take down Blade.
His positioning still very aggressive as well. He had a chance to try and flank out Shara, but World Edit waits for it. It's just Daps and Rush. He's a sitting duck. As World Edit finds him. Either way, it would have been Markelov pushing through to find him from Ivy if he hadn't. Daps now. 1 versus 4.
Yeah, and Sharon, no real need to hunt him, but, you know, it's an extra $300. If you get the kill, you're going to be punished for it. But if that's going to save it, that'd be very beneficial. Not going to be the case this time. Well, it takes him down. 14-13, coming to the closing segments here, the crescendo. And one of these teams will be going home. So we'll see how this works out. It's going to be 14-13 now. Money, like I said, it's not great. It's definitely viable. I think this is the time for the pause. It makes sense. And work out how you're going to approach the situation. So right now, Mixwell paid $200. He can't get the orb. But Naf, on the other hand, he's got 5,400. He could drop one over, but they'll be so stretched. What can Mixwell really offer in terms of apart from a FAMAS?
And Naf as well is also known, he could keep it himself for that matter, as a secondary opper is typically a role he's found himself in as far back as his denial days. Tiny little bit when he was in the early Liquid roster, but it's a tough call, you're right. I mean, it stretches them out extremely thin, and not only that, utility plays into that as well, because they have to try and slow this down from Flipside that's been bleeding them out already as it is. Naf's gone for it. He's bought the AWP, and so far hasn't dropped it over. So this indicates potentially that he wants to bring armor up and go with the lead role in that regard. However, Mixwell has gone for FAMAS and dropped that on the ground. So, yeah, there it is. They do swap it over.
Yeah, this isn't one of those calls. It's not like what we saw in the previous game where it's just like, okay, it's like NIP. Do we get pistols or do you get one FAMAS there? It's obviously a lot stronger in that scenario. They can get an AWP, they can get some rifles. They just need to work out how they're going to set up it. That's more what the discussion is right now. Obviously, they'll be buying just what kind of formation are we going? I'd say let's get the AWP in that upper ramp area. But they haven't done that once yet. Let's get Daps. It looks like he's got the AWP right now. I'm assuming he's giving that to Mixwell. Get Mixwell towards that upper ramp area and inside. Get him the control he needs. As soon as he's spotting that area, at least we can keep 4 players outside that. It makes our weakened buy a little bit stronger in that respect. We've got the crossfire set up outside. They need someone locking down a stronger position. That AWP needs to start paying dividends here. And we'll see what kind of setup they go for. At this point, though, Flipside, I always say this, well, they get advantage of the freeze time as well. And they know that they're going to be adapting, they'll be changing something up. You could just throw a really fast outside tactic there, which we're yet to see from Flipside. That could completely throw things out the window for whatever adaptation's coming in.
We'll see what they're saying. Markelov being the more vocal. We often talk about Blade being the tactical mastermind on this Flipside roster.
Indeed. Oh, that's the pause over. The final buy for OpTic it's going to be 3 M4A4s, a FAMAS in the hands of Naf, and he was the player that had dropped over that AWP to Mixwell, so eyes on him once again. Like we said, the last few rounds, Mixwell had a great first half, but hasn't been amazing the dying sectors of the second.
And to be fair, he does still have a significant lead over his teammates, so a lot of blame goes onto their shoulders.
Beginning of this half, he had about 25 frags, just towards the end, he's kind of dropped off now.
True point, as Daps bottom of the ramp inside that smoke, nearly gets taken out by the spraying AK. It just hits him to 73, but very narrowly missed a headshot. WorldEdit jumping down to try and get a jump on the angle, but can't land the shot as the shoulder peek does come out from Stanislaw. Now the entrance, but it's Shara and WorldEdit to pick up the kills. A response finally from Mixwell. That's 30 for him total in the game. As a flash comes out, he's going to get aggressive. He needs to find yet another kill. Spots the trajectory from Shara, and a smart play to take him down, but they've lost Naf in the meantime. It's just he that remains versus 3. An ace required from Mixwell. If he hasn't done enough so far this game, he certainly has to do it now.
Yeah, there's no chance here to save the AWP. It's all he can really do. It's 3 versus 1. It's not going to work out for him. They can sacrifice one player like they are towards the lower ramp and then just get some information. Now they know he's saving, and they're going to push and get him as well. Lovely stuff there, and that's a huge scalp to take him. Almost guaranteed the victory for Flipside at this point.
Clever to try and use the decoy to mask his escape as well, but doesn't work out as he gets spotted. So as you say, 15 now for Flipside. Chance for them to move into the decider match tomorrow against NIP, and OpTic need 2 rounds to stay alive, to force overtime. Or it's all said and done. And I have to say, Henry, I was really hoping they might take this so that I could brag the Canadian team won more games in a major than a UK team.
I don't think you'd have to really stretch that far. I don't think a UK team or a UK player's ever appeared. So I think that was a record that's already happened. Anyway, next year, Matt, I'm thinking it.
We shall see.
Anyway, pistols in the hands of OpTic. 1 round is required for Flipside to keep them alive in the tournament. And there will be no particular stack from OpTic here. 2 players towards inside, 2 by PopDog. And we have 1 player holding towards Ivy. That's going to be Naf. So at this point, though, Flipside know exactly what's going on. They know that only $2,400 are coming into their bank accounts this time. Won't have any rifles. It's up to the CTs to try and make something happen here with those 5.7s. Can be very good close range, but Flipside, default. Don't give anything away. Stick together. Go for that first pick. That's the first objective right now. Get 1 kill. Wait for the reaction, then make your way to a bomb site.
Pistols desperate for play. Stan and Rush, close angle. Rush can even try and take over PopDog. First time we've seen some CT aggression here. At least coming in from the A site. We've seen it through rotations on B when WorldEdit got the shot in the smoke, but never an aggressive stance in a CT setup as Waylander waits with smoke, drop down on the upper sidewalk, and potentially he can get into the site faster. But right now, it's just WorldEdit and they're falling back off of this. They're just trying to cause rotations, and they're doing it because Stanislaw's left that A site. It's just Rush that's waiting at PopDog. He's dropped down on entry. Shara takes 2 as he finds Stan as well. Markelov will fall to Naf. There's a chance with a gun picked up. And at the back of the site, it does force their attention to be divided, but they found the kills immediately after. Naf goes down. It's all on Mixwell. He's done so much in this game, but it's still not enough. As Flipside take the victory, 16-13, and NIP is who they'll play tomorrow.
Wasn't a pretty game of CS by any stretch of the imagination, but Flipside do enough in the second half there. A lot of key mistakes made on their CT side, pushing when they didn't need to, and throwing a lot of situations away, but to be fair, I feel bad for Mixwell. He had an amazing game. His teammates weren't really on his level today. His AWPing was fantastic, and you can see the look of disappointment on OpTic's face right now. But we said it going into that second half, regardless of losing the first one. Flipside, great tactical team, slowed things right down. We're very good at the executions, good fakes as well. Defaults were solid, so they did enough in the second half to bring that one back, even after losing the pistol as well.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that's a factor of it, losing the pistol as well. We thought OpTic would be in the driver's seat, but very good T-side approach, as they're known for. Flipside gives them the victory. Again, they move forward to the decider match tomorrow against NIP. OpTic bow out of the event here. We're going to take a short break, join Red Eye for an interview, and the desk will break it all down after that.